Click the link below or go straight to MrLocario.com to get your tickets for the Truth About the Game seminar. Space is limited, so get your tickets today.
Yo, what's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So I got an email from a subscriber, and the subscriber sent the donation, so thanks for your donation. And remember, guys, if you want to guarantee that your question will be answered, make sure you click the link below and send a donation. So this one says, hey, Mr. Locario, I have a question that's been on my mind for a while. How come it feels as if some guys are just naturally good at game from birth, but guys like me seem to struggle? Are some men just prodigies at getting women? I feel my personality holds me back since I'm handsome, but my game is weak since I'm naturally a kind guy and girls end up taking advantage of me for attention, then go ghost before we even get to sex. Not gonna lie, I'm very frustrated of this cycle, and I feel I have to turn into a savage/asshole just to even get women to consider me, and I don't really like that option because then I'm not really being myself. Even though I try to tell myself I don't want to deal with women, I still deep down have the urge to talk and interact with them, and I get mad that it's easier for other men. All right. So the thing is, some guys, they are going to have like a certain type of personality and a certain type of energy that women are just drawn to. You understand? So they sort of just like naturally have that because of how their personality is. Then you're going to also have guys who, when they were growing up, right, they sort of, were interacting with women when they were younger. And as they gotten older, it's, that same energy stuck with them. So then they sort of just naturally had that feel based off of what they were doing back in the day. And it went to adulthood. And now they're it's a little bit easier for them to navigate and deal with women, right? Then you have, on the other side of the spectrum, a lot of guys who are not naturals, guys who don't really, know how to interact with women. Now, the funny part is the guys who are natural at interacting with chicks, most of those guys actually couldn't even tell you how to do it. You understand? Because there are certain guys who, even where, like I'll talk to certain dudes and, I tell them what I do. And I'm like, yeah, I coach and I teach, men how to attract women. I teach women how to attract men, all this other stuff. And there are certain guys that I know who are naturals and they're just like, really? Like, guys need help with this shit? You understand? This is what they're like surprised. You know what I mean? And so there are certain guys who sort of just like, have that energy already. Right. And the thing is that those guys probably couldn't even teach you anything, even though they're natural with it, because they don't even realize that they're doing anything. You understand? They're just sort of flowing with the situation when they're talking to girls. And then, some girls they get, some girls they don't get, but they're getting, the amount, a good amount of girls that they want to fuck with, and shit is just going the way it's supposed to go. Right now, what I would say, though, is when we talk about a guy who's a natural, right, there's something to sort of learn from that, meaning like when I'm saying that they just sort of make it flow and they sort of just do their thing and they're not really thinking too much about it, right? Because, see, when we're talking about learning game and we're talking about, learning different techniques and learning different ways to holler at a girl and doing this and doing that and not doing this and not doing that, all those things, right? It's basically teaching guys who are not naturals to learn certain things to, at some point, become natural. You understand? So that's really the point of the whole thing, because what it is the guys who are the naturals, they're actually doing the stuff that is being taught, but they don't even realize they're doing it. You understand what I'm saying? So they're still doing certain things. Like a lot of guys who are natural, they'll go up to a girl and approach her, be like, yo, what's up? How you doing? Whatever. And so they're going and they're approaching on a confident level, and they're not scared to talk to the girl. You see what I mean? And so they're doing that. They're going in it. They're approaching. They're having that conversation. Then when they're having that conversation, they're flirting with the girl. They're building sexual tension. They don't even realize that they're building sexual tension, but that's what they're doing. You understand? And then also, what happens is that they're looking to see that how the girl's responding to them, reacting to them. They see that the girl's into it. They keep it going. They keep it pushing. They start kissing her. They doing all this other stuff. So they're doing all of the things right, but they don't even realize that they're doing it. And the guys who aren't naturals, what it is that you're being taught to do those things so that it becomes second nature to you. So you don't even have to think about it, because the guys who are natural at it, they're not really thinking too much about it when they're doing it. You understand? In most cases, they're just sort of, it's just sort of flowing. It's just sort of, it's going in that direction effortlessly. I'll put it to you like this. Let's say if you speak English, but you're trying to learn Spanish, right? Now, if you're trying to learn Spanish and you don't know how to speak Spanish, right? But you're learning it, you're sort of taking it step by step. So then at some point you're going to be thinking about the next word to say. What does this word mean in Spanish, and blah, blah, blah. Now, as you get more well versed in Spanish and you start to become really good at speaking Spanish, you don't necessarily really think about it. You just start speaking the Spanish. Just like how if you speak English, you don't think about how to speak English, you just speak it. It becomes natural to you. But if Spanish is not your first language or whatever, and you're learning it, right, you have to learn it in order to become the person who knows how to speak it just like that. You see what I'm saying? So the same thing where, another example I always use is where, let's say if you're typing on a computer, some people need to look at the keys to type, the words, and they have to like type one letter at a time or whatever. But then if you become well versed in typing, you can type with all your fingers. You don't even really need to look at the keys, and it becomes more natural to you. But you learn that, you get accustomed to that. You understand what I'm saying? So, the thing is that if you're not a guy who's natural at the game, you have to learn certain things, right? So the thing is, you were saying that you were, like you said that you feel like your personality holds you back since you're handsome, but your game is weak, and you said you're naturally kind, and then these chicks ghost you and all of that, and you're saying that you feel like you should be an asshole, to get these girls, right? But then you said it will feel funny because you're not being yourself. And see, I actually did a video about this the other day, I'm about to put up soon, where I was talking about this, where you don't need to act like an asshole to get women, right? Women, at the end of the day, because we always say, women don't like the nice guys, women want the bad boys. All that's really saying is, in a nutshell, is women don't like fake dudes. They like real dudes. See, nice guys are the fake dudes. And I know a lot of nice guys are like, but what are you talking about? I'm a nice person. No. When you are a quote unquote nice guy, what you're doing is you're pretending to be nice because you think you're supposed to be nice to the girl in order for her to like you. So what that means is that you'll agree with everything she says. You'll do everything you think she wants you to do. And that's what we mean by being a nice guy. We're not saying you could be a nice person. That's another different story. You could be a cool person. That's one thing. When we say nice guy, we're talking in the context of the game of you being that dude who's always sucking ass and kissing butt to women in order for them to like you. And that's fake shit, because you are putting on that act to kiss ass. Right? When we talk about the bad boy usually is more real, because the bad boy is more well balanced. He's just the guy doing him, and therefore he appears as that bad boy because he'll at one minute tell a girl, hey, yeah, let's make something happen. I'm cool with you. Everything is cool. And then the next minute he's like, man, fuck out of here. I don't feel like calling you and talking to you right now. You understand? Because he just don't feel like it. You feel what I mean? He's just doing him whenever he wants to do him at all times. So then she gravitates to that guy because he's more real. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about you acting like, because that's the problem. A lot of dudes, they sort of feel like they need to act and put on a certain act, and then that's going to be the thing that's going to make the girls want them. You understand? Now, you can act like that in a certain way. You could sort of, put on that act if you want, and then you might get a girl here and there. You understand? I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. But what happens is that in the long run, you can't really put on that act too much, because what's going to happen is you're just going to get, a few things here and there, but it's nothing that you can sustain as long-term success in a game, because you're always putting on instead of just being. You feel what I'm saying? And so, you were saying that you were getting mad because it's easier for other guys, and then you're comparing yourself to these other guys who are natural and everything like that. And what you really want to do is that, since you are not a guy who naturally sort of like has it going on, and also understand that a guy who's a natural still gets rejected. A guy that's a natural still, will have sometimes approach anxiety. Guys who are natural still will feel a certain type of way when a girl flakes, whatever. So it's not like these guys who are natural, they just have these natural, they have the natural superpowers of getting girls. It's just more so that their game is a little bit more, it's a little bit more like it flows better than most guys who are not natural. So what you want to do is you want to learn the game and practice it and put yourself out there and be on top of it to the point where it becomes second nature, to where you become that natural. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it's about. It's about you becoming that natural dude. Because see, a lot of times when you look at things like, guys learning like pickup artist stuff, and a lot of these different techniques, and, all these other routines and all this other stuff, a lot of it is really the mimicking of the natural. You see what I'm saying? So what it is that, again, like I said, the natural is usually doing the things that the pickup artist is trying to emulate, or trying to get the pickup student to understand. You see what I'm saying? So the thing is, the natural is doing it sort of automatically, and this is why he's getting those results. But he's also doing it without having to really think about it, without having to really put anything on, because it's become part of him. It's become something inside of him that he feels and that he puts out there. You understand what I'm saying? So this is why a lot of times when, guys are trying to learn game, the what's hard about it for most guys to learn game is that in order for you to really become good at the game, you have to sort of internalize all those things you've been taught, right? So, for example, if a guy's talking about, hey, what are some pickup lines, or what are some things I can say, or what's a routine that I can do, or give me a technique, right? That's all well and good, but what happens is that the more natural you get, the more you don't have to think about the technique, because the technique has become a part of you. You understand what I'm saying? And this is why it's sometimes hard for guys to get the game, because they're so stuck on worrying about the technique or the routine. They're so stuck on being in the, their mind is so caught on that they're not flowing with the situation. So when they're talking to a girl, instead of just having a conversation, going back and forth and flowing with it, they're thinking, okay, she said this, what do I say next? And what do I do after this? And, how am I going to get to the next spot or whatever, the next level, so they're so caught up in their head that they're not really even there. And that's the thing that sort of messes them up. It's more so you have to learn these things. Since you're not a natural at the game, you learn these things, you understand it, you study, you implement that into your game, and then you continuously do it until it becomes second nature, to the point where you're not even thinking about it, you're just doing. Just like you don't have to think about speaking English, you just do it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like that type of thing. So you want to be able to get so well versed in a game that you become that natural with it. All right. So that's pretty much it. Listen, guys, if you have any questions, make sure you click the link below, and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone.
Click the link below or go straight to MrLocario.com to get your tickets for the Truth About the Game seminar. Space is limited, so get your tickets today.
What's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.